Welcome back to the 9 News Business Buzz. I'm Ryan Fraser, 9 News business expert. We talk a lot about the cost of groceries, but we rarely talk about the cost of growing them. Right now, trade wars have made it more difficult for farmers. Persistent inflation has spiked the cost of the fuel and fertilizer they use. Last week, the White House announced a $12 billion lifeline. But is it enough?
Maximizing domestic farm production is a big part of how we will make America affordable again and bring down grocery prices for American families.
Joining me now is James Henderson, a fifth-generation farmer from the San Luis Valley and the vice president of the Colorado Farm Bureau. James, how are you?
Not too bad. How are you?
Thanks for joining me. It's great to have you and the Farm Bureau on the Business Buzz. James, you just heard the president say this aid is about bringing down grocery prices. You grow barley, oat, peas, crops that are eligible for this Farmers Bridge program. Your cattle and alfalfa are not included in the primary funding list. When you look at the check this program promises versus the bills you have piling up for fertilizer and equipment, how does this help you and Colorado farmers?
I think to begin with, we have a lot of gratitude for the Trump administration and Secretary Rollins rolling out this $12 billion in aid. You hit it exactly right. We've seen a tremendous uptick in the cost of what it takes to produce a crop, the fertilizer, the fuel, the equipment, the parts, all of that goes into it. We've seen farmers running for several years now at a loss. The trade wars, tariffs have compounded that effect, and this aid package is going to be critical to keeping family farms like mine and those that we have across Colorado in business moving into the future.
Yeah, now you talked to me offline about how this is really focused on helping family farmers, not just the big guys and gals, right? Talk to us a little bit more about how this is focused on helping farmers like you.
So for my family and so many farms across Colorado, 97% of farms across the country and across Colorado are still family-owned farms. And keeping those families on the land should be our highest priority. This package helps do that. Farmers run on credit. This package is going to help get farmers current, not only with their vendors, but with their bank. It's not a significant enough impact, the dollars that are going to come down for us to go buy new equipment, to buy a new pickup. It's not that kind of thing. It's not a stimulus package. It's really to keep us being able to access credit, whether it's from our vendors, whether it's from our banks. For us, I think this is really important for our local community bank that we still bank with. They're, completely independent here in the San Luis Valley, and having that risk portfolio that they have with all of their ag borrowers be kind of backed up with this package is important to me because my banker is going to look at me and say, okay, we've de-risked the portfolio, our lending portfolio a little bit, and that capital is going to be available for me. One of the things that I think a lot of people maybe don't understand about how farmers get paid is we get 1 or 2 really big checks per year, and we operate on borrowed money in the interim to pay for all those expenses that are coming up. And it helps bridge us over. And so access to that credit, to those operating lines is tremendously important. I hope that this assistance package will strengthen that and continue to have us be a good risk for the banks to take.
James, now put your Farm Bureau hat on for me now. The Farm Bureau has always said it wants trade, not aid. But with tariffs limiting access to major markets like China, are farmers starting to feel they have fewer choices? Are we moving towards a system where survival depends more on federal support than open markets? And how do farmers feel about this?
So I think when we look at this, the old government joke is, right, building the bridge to nowhere. And so the question really right now before us is, where is this a bridge to? Is it to an ag policy that has a long-term support for our farmers and ranchers? That's why what we call the Farm Bill, which is a 5-year kind of funding program that supports our farmers, is so important. Right now, that's kind of been kicked down the road as a continuing resolution, and that's no way to govern. So we're really looking for Congress to find the fortitude to pass a 5-year farm bill and give all of our lenders, give our creditors, and give our farmers kind of that long and resilient and durable backstop that we need to continue to produce food here domestically. We rely so heavily on the domestic production of calories. It's an industry that we can literally not live without, and supporting and strengthening them in any way we can should be Congress's absolute priority right now.
Now, you mentioned earlier that you don't expect big checks coming to family farmers like you, but for families that are watching this, that see the price of beef or milk at the store and wonder why it's so high, they may wonder, will this aid help bring down the prices for them in the near future? Can you talk to us about how or if this will have any impact on the consumer?
I don't think you'll see a very direct impact, but there's a cautionary tale, I think, with what we've seen in beef prices. The 3 or 4 years that preceded this huge run up in the price of beef is because we lost hundreds of thousands of cattle across the country because those ranchers couldn't make money at it anymore, and so they chose to get out of the business. We could see that with cropping. It's important that we keep our farmers profitable so that we have more farmers, we have more acreage in production, we have more cattle at a profitable level, and that keeps food prices pretty steady. And again, it's so important that we produce that as much food as we can domestically.
I got to ask you this, James, because agriculture and farming is so important to Colorado's economy. Farming is aging faster than many other industries. Instead of just surviving, how do we get back to thriving? What needs to change, whether it's policy or public support, to ensure the next generation wants to take over the farm and keep American family farming going strong?
So there's 2 answers to that question. Number 1 is access to credit. For young farmers starting out, that's why that farm bill is so important, so that bank can de-risk that portfolio of lending to that young farmer or rancher to get started. That's number 1. The second thing is we need to look at our regulatory environment and what we're doing in Colorado. Are we supporting our farmers and ranchers, or are we harming them with burdening them with regulation? Regulation is a tax, and it has an effect in any business community, but especially in agriculture, as we see the attitude that's been kind of exhibited to agriculture in rural Colorado from the General Assembly the last several years. I think we really need to check ourselves and our policymakers to make sure we understand what we're asking our farmers and ranchers to do.
And of course, for farmers, don't forget for this Farm Aid bill that you have to verify your acreage by December 19th. That's this Friday. Very important to get that paperwork in time. James Henderson, a farmer and vice president with the Colorado Farm Bureau, thank you so much for joining us on the Business Buzz. The takeaway is this: food security is national security. If we lose these family operations in the San Luis Valley or the West Slope or on the Eastern Plains, we don't just lose a business, we lose our independence. Farmers, the crops they grow, the cattle they raise are essential to Colorado and our nation's prosperity. For the 9 News Business Buzz, I'm Ryan Frazier. See you next time.